We start the top stories with Zimbabwe, where Grace Mugabe, the widow of Zimbabwe's first and long-serving president, Robert Mugabe, has challenged the court ruling to exhume her late husband's body from his grave in Kutama village and be buried in Harare at the National Heroes Acre. Now, the Mugabe family says that before his death, the former president had told them he did not want to be buried at the shrine.
It's been quite a controversial issue in that country. Now, in May, this year, the traditional court in Zvimba found and fined Grace Mugabe for burying her husband without proper traditional procedures in their own rights. Now, that was fined 5 cows and 2 goats, not a small measure, and ordered his exhumation and reburial in Harare.
Now, Mugabe's children lost the appeal against the chief's directive, and in September, a magistrate court gave the exhumation order a go-ahead, citing that the children had no legal authority to challenge the exhumation of their father.
Well, this is quite a big story in Zimbabwe. Where will Robert Mugabe be reburied? Will he be exhumed? And what is the challenge coming from the family this time? To break this all down, we're joined this morning to discuss our Zimbabwean correspondent, Lala Ngwenya. Morning to you, Lala. First of all, where are we now with the exhumation order and the family of late Robert Mugabe?
Good morning, Olisa and Olichi. Okay, so this is promising to be one of the longest court cases in Zimbabwe. The former First Lady, Grace Mugabe, has actually taken the court to the High Court. She has appealed at the High Court, and she's still challenging the chief's directive and the magistrate courts in Chinoyi that also, backed the chief's directive that the body of the late president has to be exhumed. There's quite a lot of things around this case, and also the constitution of Zimbabwe does not have any provisions that speak or that say anything in regards with how a person should be buried or if a person should be exhumed at all. However, there's a Burials and Cremations Act that gives directives on how a person should be buried, on what you have to, the regulations that one has to follow when a loved one has died, and how that person has to either be cremated or be buried, but nothing to do with one being exhumed.
Right. Now, Lala, looking at this whole scenario, is it legally correct that the former president's children have no legal authority to challenge the exhumation of their father?
Okay, this is absolutely, and it has never been heard of, because what the Mugabe children are simply doing, they are alleging that they have a right. They have a right to decide their father's final resting place. They have a right to honor their father's wish according to their claims, because they claim that before the late president passed on, he gave directives that he didn't want to be buried at the National Shrine, but he wanted to be buried at his home in Kutama, Zvimba district. So they are simply just exercising their rights. And, as most people are concerned, these people are not breaking any law. They haven't committed a crime. They are simply exercising their rights to their father's final resting place.
All right. Just to go on this one, which bodies are really looking to make this exhumation? Is it the government? Because the family is challenging them. Because if you remember 2 years ago, the whole world stopped and stared and paid salute and respect to Mugabe when he was wearing that really big state celebration, of his life. And for us to not exhume, are we going to have a big state spending for reburial? Who is going to pay the cost for all that?
Who's going to pay the cost for the exhumation of the body?
Yes, if that were to happen.
Okay, so we take it's going to be the government. There hasn't been an official statement on who is going to pay the cost to do the exhumation body. But from where we stand right now, we can say it is the government, though it has not been confirmed. That's quite an interesting question, because that question hasn't been raised. People are just, at the moment, everybody's going back and forth on Why should he be exhumed? Can he be exhumed? Should he be exhumed? But the cost to do the whole process have not been mentioned. But, you know, since he is a statesman, he was a statesman, chances are the government is the one that's going to foot the bill.
All right, Lala Gwenya, our correspondent from Zimbabwe, Harare, thank you very much for the latest on the story about the court order and, well, the challenge from Mugabe's family about his exhumation of the late president's body. Thank you once again. More top stories coming right here on Breakfast Central.